Homelessness is an issue that's been steadily rising in the United States, affecting people from all walks of life. As we move into 2025, the problem has reached critical levels in many cities across the nation. Despite the efforts of local governments, nonprofits, and communities, the lack of affordable housing, increasing costs of living, and systemic challenges have left hundreds of thousands of people struggling to find a place to call home. Today, we're diving deep into the top 10 cities in the U.S. struggling most with homelessness. What are the root causes? How are these cities addressing the problem? And what can we learn from their experiences to create a more compassionate and inclusive future? Let's explore together. Number 1. New York City. New York City, home to over 8.8 million residents, has the largest homeless population in the United States. On any given night, more than 70,000 individuals, including over 20,000 children, experience homelessness in the city. The primary driver of this crisis is the staggering cost of living, with rent prices well above the national average. For decades, affordable housing has been in short supply, leaving many vulnerable individuals and families unable to keep up with skyrocketing rents. Compounding the issue are factors like mental health challenges, unemployment, and domestic violence, which often lead people into homelessness. Although the city has one of the most extensive shelter systems in the country, it's not enough to meet the overwhelming demand. Programs like Housing First and supportive housing initiatives have shown promise, but a long-term solution will require systemic change, including more affordable housing development and expanded social services. Number 2. Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles has become a focal point of America's homelessness crisis. With over 75,000 homeless individuals in Los Angeles County alone, the city is struggling to manage its unsheltered population. In fact, nearly 3/4 of LA's homeless residents live without shelter, often in makeshift tent communities scattered throughout the city. Rising housing costs and stagnant wages are major contributors, as are issues like mental health disorders and substance abuse. While the city has invested in temporary housing programs, many critics argue these are only short-term fixes. Voter-approved measures such as Proposition HHH have funded new housing developments, but bureaucratic delays have limited their impact. As the crisis continues, advocates stress the importance of combining housing initiatives with access to healthcare, job training, and mental health support to create sustainable pathways out of homelessness. Number 3. Seattle, Washington. Seattle, a city known for its booming tech industry and scenic beauty, has not escaped the homelessness epidemic. In King County, where Seattle is located, over 13,000 people are homeless, with a significant portion living on the streets or in vehicles. The rising cost of living in the city, driven by a tech-fueled housing market, has priced out many longtime residents. Additionally, Seattle faces a severe shortage of affordable housing, with low-income families and individuals often left behind in the competitive market. In recent years, the city has implemented several initiatives, including the Navigation Team, which works to connect unsheltered individuals with services. However, the program has faced criticism for its focus on clearing encampments without providing adequate housing alternatives. Advocates argue that a greater emphasis on affordable housing and wraparound services is needed to address the root causes of homelessness in Seattle. Number 4. San Francisco, California. San Francisco, another major West Coast city, is grappling with a homelessness crisis that has been decades in the making. The city's homeless population exceeds 7,700, with many living on the streets in plain view of tourists and residents alike. The high cost of living, coupled with a limited supply of affordable housing, has left many vulnerable to homelessness. Despite significant investments in shelters and housing programs, San Francisco has struggled to keep pace with the growing demand. The city's response has included the development of permanent supportive housing and increased funding for mental health and addiction services. However, critics point out that these measures have not been sufficient to stem the tide of homelessness. In 2025, the challenge for San Francisco lies in balancing immediate needs with long-term solutions that address the systemic factors driving homelessness. Number 5. Miami, Florida. In Miami, homelessness presents a unique challenge, as the city's warm climate attracts individuals from colder regions seeking refuge on the streets. While Miami's homeless population is smaller compared to cities like New York and Los Angeles, the issue is still significant. Many of Miami's homeless individuals struggle with substance abuse, mental health issues, or a lack of affordable housing. The city has focused on increasing the availability of shelter beds and providing outreach services, but these efforts often fall short of addressing the root causes of homelessness. Miami's reliance on tourism and service industries means that economic downturns hit low-income residents particularly hard, leaving them vulnerable to homelessness. Addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach, including expanding affordable housing options, offering job training programs, and providing comprehensive mental health care. Number 6. Phoenix, Arizona. Phoenix has seen a sharp rise in homelessness over the past few years, with more than 10,000 individuals currently experiencing homelessness in Maricopa County. What makes Phoenix's crisis particularly dire is the extreme weather conditions. Scorching summer temperatures, often exceeding 110 degrees Fahrenheit, pose life-threatening risks to those living on the streets. The housing affordability crisis has been a major contributing factor. As Phoenix has grown rapidly in population, housing prices and rents have soared, leaving low-income residents struggling to keep a roof over their heads. Compounding this issue are the challenges of accessing mental health care and addiction treatment, which often go hand in hand with homelessness. The city has recently taken steps to address the crisis, including opening cooling shelters during the summer months and increasing affordable housing projects. However, advocates argue that much more is needed, particularly in long-term investments for housing and mental health services. Number 7. Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, often known for its glitz and glamour, has a darker side when it comes to homelessness. With over 6,500 homeless individuals in Clark County, the city's homeless population is highly visible, especially in the downtown area and around the famous Strip. One of the unique aspects of Las Vegas is its underground homeless population, individuals living in the city's drainage tunnels to escape the scorching heat. Factors contributing to homelessness in Las Vegas include a lack of affordable housing, low wages in the service industry, and insufficient social services for those struggling with addiction and mental health. While the city has made efforts to provide emergency shelters and expand affordable housing, progress has been slow. Advocacy groups continue to push for more comprehensive strategies, such as job training programs and better coordination between government agencies and nonprofits, to address the crisis in a meaningful way. Number 8. San Diego, California. San Diego is another West Coast city facing a significant homelessness challenge, with over 8,000 people experiencing homelessness on any given night. What sets San Diego apart is the sheer visibility of its homeless population, particularly in areas like downtown and along the beaches. The city's mild climate has drawn unsheltered individuals from other parts of the country, exacerbating the problem. Rising rents, a lack of affordable housing, and a severe shortage of shelter beds have left many people with nowhere to go. In response, San Diego has launched several initiatives, including the construction of bridge shelters and the expansion of permanent supportive housing. The city has also partnered with local nonprofits to provide mental health and addiction services. However, critics argue that these efforts are not enough to keep pace with the growing demand, calling for more aggressive policies to tackle the root causes of homelessness. Number 9. Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas, has emerged as one of the fastest-growing cities in the U.S., but this rapid growth has come with a steep price, an escalating homelessness crisis. The city's homeless population has surpassed 4,000, with many living in encampments under highways or along public spaces. Austin's booming tech industry has driven up housing costs, pricing out low-income residents and leaving many unable to afford rent. The issue has sparked significant political debate, particularly over the city's policies on public camping. In recent years, voters reinstated a ban on camping in public spaces, leading to increased tensions and a push for more shelter spaces. Austin has also committed significant funding to create affordable housing and expand social services, but implementation has been slow. The city faces the challenge of balancing public safety concerns with the need for compassionate and effective solutions to homelessness. Number 10. Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon, once celebrated for its progressive values and vibrant culture, is now grappling with a homelessness crisis that has drawn national attention. The city's homeless population exceeds 6,600, with many individuals living in tents along sidewalks, parks, and public spaces. Portland's crisis is fueled by a mix of rising housing costs, economic inequality, and a lack of accessible mental health services. Additionally, the opioid epidemic has played a significant role in exacerbating homelessness in the city. Portland has taken steps to address the issue, including investing in affordable housing, opening new shelters, and implementing harm reduction programs for individuals struggling with addiction. However, these efforts have been met with mixed results, as the scale of the problem continues to grow. Advocates emphasize the importance of a regional approach, involving neighboring cities and counties, to create lasting solutions. As we've seen, homelessness is not confined to one region or demographic. It's a nationwide crisis that touches every corner of America. From the extreme heat of Phoenix to the tech-driven housing markets of Seattle and Austin, each city faces unique challenges that require tailored solutions. While local governments are making efforts to address the issue, the scale of the problem demands more collaboration at the state and federal levels. Addressing homelessness means tackling not only the symptoms, like lack of shelter, but also the root causes, including poverty, addiction, mental health issues, and systemic inequality. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help spread awareness about this critical issue. Together, we can work toward a future where everyone has a safe place to call home. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.